Hi everyone! Today I'm going to be going through my December daily album from last year in 2020. Hopefully you can get some inspiration for your album this year. I know I had a lot of fun making this album and I'm just going to go ahead and get right into it. This album is from Ali Edwards. I actually got it off of HSN. They were having a special sale. It fits 6x8 inch inserts on the inside, which I think is the perfect size for a December daily album. It has this beautiful gold lettering on the front with Christmas phrases, and I also made this dangle snowflake charm to decorate the side. Now on the inside, I did something that I kind of wish I hadn't done, but also don't really mind it. I think the inside album was very plain and I wish it had some type of design on it, so I thought it'd be a good idea to glue on these snowflake sequins. I thought the sequins were really pretty, but I also used Mod Podge and you can see the streaks, which I don't like, but like I said, it's fine and festive, and since I can't redo it, I'll just enjoy how it is. Now, the first page of my December daily album is this beautiful green and gold sequin shaker pocket. I love this page so much and I think the colors are so festive. All I did was add green and gold sequins to a whole 6x8 pocket page. I also added some white glitter that makes it look like snow, and then I sealed the top opening with the We Are Memory Keepers fuse tool. And just to note, I did make process videos last year for pretty much every day that are on my channel, so if you want an in-depth tutorial on how I made this shaker or any of my other pages, you can go and watch those videos. But again, I thought this was just the perfect thing to start out my album, and I just decorated it on the outside with some stickers. Next up, I made this Reason Why page. Since this was my first December daily album ever, I really wanted to capture the importance of the holiday season, especially since last year was such a unique year with COVID and everything. It's so awesome to get to go back and look at everything my family and I did. And on the back here, I just have this cute pink and rose gold paper for decoration. If you can't tell already, I did not go off of any color scheme or anything like that while making this. The first day of December was really exciting. It actually snowed and it was the first snow day of the year. So to celebrate, I took my dog and my rabbit outside to play. One thing you'll notice on all my pages is that I also wrote a little snippet of what I did that day. And another thing I added is something I was thankful for. My goal was to combine a little bit of memory planning and gratitude for each day. For day number 2, I kept it simple. There wasn't anything extravagant happening that day, so I just made a layout about Happy Mail. I made this flip-up card, and underneath it I wrote my description and gratitude. And the one thing I found that I don't like about pocket pages is you're forced to use the same type of format or layout twice in a row. So since this has two 3x4 and a 6x4 pocket, you're also forced to use that same format on the other side. I feel as though it limits the creative process since you're confined to these pocket pages, which is why I enjoyed making this flip up, because it adds something a little different. And on day 3, I made this fun tag that I hand cut from a full sheet of paper and added some ribbon onto the top, and I also put the number 3 there. On the back, I wrote my little description and some gratitude again. On this day, I went shopping with my best friend and saw these adorable mini Christmas trees. The photos I printed out with my Instax mini printer. I also loved the dark color scheme for this day. Day 4, I wanted to document some of the Christmas decorations we put up around my house. My favorite thing to decorate is our fireplace. Another thing I love is this stuffed Santa because we've had it since I was a little kid and it brings back so many memories. This day was also special because I got my first ever sewing machine. I bought one on Black Friday, and prior to that I had never sewn anything before, so to test it out I made this really cute Christmas tree out of strips of paper. You can see all the different stitches that I tried. On the next day, day 5, I made this really simple flip up. My friends and I watched the movie Holiday with Emma Roberts, which was a really good movie, and we made hot chocolate. And I just decorated the rest of the page with washi tape and stickers, keeping it really simple. One piece of advice I'd give to anyone doing a December daily album is to not stress yourself out by coming up with a layout for each day and trying to document your life when you're just not feeling like it. What I did for days that I had nothing going on to document is I came up with some prompts I could do instead. So on day 6, I did a December favorites page. I didn't actually document anything I did that day, but instead played around with some stickers and these fun Scrabble letters. This layout took less than 10 minutes and it's also really cute. Something else I wanted to document was my Christmas list. Since what I want changes every year, it will be so cool to go back and see what kinds of presents I was asking for in my early 20s. I made this double folded door technique and wrote "no peeking." I wrote everything I asked for on the inside. On day 8, I got my hair done, so again, here's a day where I documented just one super simple story. This is also my favorite paperclip, and it's super fitting with Santa wearing a mask for 2020. I did get the paperclip on Etsy too. One of my favorite layouts in my album is day 9. I documented all the Christmas movies I watched last year. I do have this cut file on my Etsy. All I did was print the movie titles and glued them to the little movie reel, and I put some string on the outside just for some added detail. I just printed off this huge picture of me watching a movie with the fire going. I ended up combining days 10 and 11 because both days I went Christmas shopping. We went to Hobby Lobby and saw the cutest displays. It was also surprisingly warm in the 60s, which is not normal where I'm from, so definitely enjoyed that. I also added a second card behind this one that has a little description that I wrote. Of course, for day 12, I had to do 12 days of something, and what's more fitting than 12 days of COVID for 2020? I actually saw this idea online and thought it was so cute. I decorated with these adorable poinsettias and some glitter. On the second page, I counted down with things like canceled plans and face masks, quarantine, all the fun COVID-related things. For day 13, I made this little pocket and also made some tags to go in them. I just sewed this pocket on with my sewing machine, and here are some of the tags that I made. Some have writing on the back telling the story for the day as well. On the next day, my family took my dog on a walk to go see some lights downtown. I love this layout with all the homes on the bottom and the pictures of the trees and decorations. I also made fun of my dad since all he did this year was put up one of those laser lights at our house, but I guess it's better than nothing. Day 15, I didn't have much to document, so I made this flip-up card. On this day, I was redoing my craft room, so I wrote about that and how I was thankful for having my own creative space. I love this journaling card on the front and all the light blush pink colors. At this point, my album was getting pretty full, so I wanted to try and combine some days on a layout. I made these tiny paper envelopes, and if you open them up, I put a Polaroid and wrote a small description on the inside. Day 16, I took some puppy pictures for Christmas that were really fun to take and also adorable. On day 17, I tried Indian food for the first time actually, which was surprisingly so delicious. I typically don't like spicy food, but the chicken I got was perfect and I've been back since then for sure. On day 18, I got new pajamas. Each year we get new pajamas for Christmas, so I picked out the super warm and comfy fleece ones. Day 19, I documented watching The Mandalorian for the first time, which is neat to remember when that first came out. Day 20, I actually did some more Christmas shopping and kept the receipts since I didn't have a photo. I thought this would be a cool thing to look back on later, and I ended up buying a sweater as a gift for someone. And finally, on day 21, I did my nails festive for Christmas. I like using the stick-on polish from Dashing Diva. It stays on so much longer than regular polish for me. Since this is my first December daily album, I thought it would be fitting to document a little then versus now. So I included this picture of my sister and I from the year 2000. We were so cute. And there's a photo of my childhood dog, who unfortunately is no longer with us, and another old photo from Christmases past. These were really nice to see again because some family is no longer here, so it's nice to have these types of photos documented. On the back, I have more Christmas pics from a few years ago, and I wrote a little thing talking about our old Christmas traditions we used to do. I was just reminiscing on all of our family that would come and the amount of presents that would be under the tree and how it is completely different as I've gotten older. For day 22, I made this layout all about holiday baking. My grandma had this recipe for gingerbread applesauce cake that was really good, so I wrote that down here. She said she learned it from Girl Scouts as a kid, which I thought was so sweet. I also gathered some photos of the treats people brought over to us, like cookies and this chocolate cheesecake. Day 23 is another simple layout, and I just documented what I gave for Christmas. If you remember, in one of my earlier layouts, I did a what I wanted for Christmas, so I also wanted to do a what I gave. For my grandma, I made this cute embroidery hoop that I thought would look good in her home. And finally, we are at Christmas Eve. Each Christmas Eve, we make a really delicious dinner and have my grandparents over. Here, my dad is making some lasagna. We have a special family recipe that we use, and it is the best lasagna ever. On Christmas Eve, we used to open presents, but now we wait until Christmas Day. And on Christmas Day, when I woke up, it had snowed, which was really exciting. And it was super special because it was the first snowy Christmas we'd had in years. 2020 was definitely a unique year all around, and this just topped it off. But I love white Christmases, so in the morning, my family and I opened presents, and my dog helped out. He loved ripping open the paper. And in the early afternoon, we went to my grandparents and had some lunch. We didn't all have our family over because of COVID, but it was nice getting together and opening gifts. I wrote a little story of the day on this journaling card, and of course, we got Chinese food for dinner. Leave a comment if your family also gets Chinese food on Christmas. After going to my grandparents, we came home and watched It's a Wonderful Life. I know it's a super popular movie, but it was actually my first time ever watching it, and we also got to see it in color, which was neat. My favorite quote was, "Every time a bell rings, an angel gets its wings." I thought it was a really sweet movie. Those were all the days I documented, and for the very last page, I used this journaling card from the Allie Edwards kit and wrote a small thing of gratitude for the end of the year. I thought that was a really nice way to wrap up my album and also 2020. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you've watched till the very end. Let me know if you're making a December daily album and what your plans for December are.